Hey all, here is my 120 gallon community tank. Got mostly African cichlids in here, mostly peacocks and haps. Do have a couple other Central and South American cichlids. I got a red terror, got that parrot cichlid, and a Jack Dempsey. Everybody else, is from Lake Malawi in Africa. Of course, now they're all farmed in Florida, so they're not from Africa, and these are wild caught. And then I have those 3 tinfoil barbs. Those are albinos, and I can go through each fish quickly. This is a dragon blood here, which, dragon bloods come in quite a different variety. This one I really like the darker red. Sometimes they're sold as like strawberry. And this one is a beautiful fish, don't get me wrong. But I like the strawberries that have a little bit more red like that OB. But it's beautiful nonetheless. Here's the Venustus draft cichlid. Looking pretty good. Here is the Madagascar cichlid, one of my favorites, or Starry Night cichlid. This is the deepwater hap right here, another beautiful fish. Here's a dragon blood OB that doesn't look much different from my just regular peacock OB that I was hoping would. This guy is the biggest food glutton I have. He's always got a full tummy, always. It's just how this fish looks all the time. Biggest eater I got. Here's the electric blue hap. Beautiful fish. So I have 3 of these albino tinfoil barbs, and I just recently got them. And obviously they're in there for some movement, and I have noticed, some people get, they call them a dither fish, and that's to, cichlids are fairly active swimmers. I mean, obviously it depends which cichlid you're talking about, but a lot of African cichlids are open water fish, meaning they swim in open water and they're fairly active swimmers. But even so, they tend to be territorial, and so what can happen is they'll just end up in one area and just kind of hang out. But those tinfoil barbs or fish like that will break that up by swimming around and creating more activity, and it tends to help other fish feel more confident when other fish are swimming around. It can, and that was the intention, and they're working out so far. They're only about 3-4 inches, so obviously they're going to get much bigger. They max out around 12-14 inches. I do have a little rainbow shark I forgot about. That's one of the first fish I got. And then here is the Maduko white lips. This fish will get much darker blue and much whiter lips, but doing well. Here's the jewel. Beautiful fish. And here is what's supposed to be a Taiwan Reef OB. It was a guaranteed male. And that's the Taiwan Reef. Oh, excuse me, no, that's the this is the Taiwan Reef, which is the tank boss. But that OB, which is now hiding over in this corner, oh, here it is actually. Never mind. This may be a female. It's been doing a lot of breeding dances, which is when the fish circle each other, especially the Taiwan Reef. And it still could color up if it was a male, potentially, but could be definitely a female. But the pictures of the male version of this are gorgeous, so that would be nice if that happens. Here's a really young Malawi eye biter. Again, also unidentified at this point. It's very young. It's about 3 inches, and they color up between 4 and 6 inches typically. Here is a peacock, which this is a flame tail, and it's still pretty small. It's maybe 3 inches, And they're showing decent color though, that's exciting. And what else do we have in here? I mean, there's a yellow lab, classic, you know, just striking yellow. Back there is an albino dragon blood, which I thought was going to be a lot more stunning. It is a beautiful fish, especially the blue on the top fin. The dorsal fin is quite pretty, and the egg spots are quite pretty on that fish. And it may get even more stunning as it gets bigger, we'll see. Here's a lemon jake. Again, I have a few peacocks in here, they're pretty small, it's 3 inches. Starting to show some of that blue, which is exciting. Here is a fire hap, which has gotten beat up a bit, but is doing fine and recovering. Let's see, I know I got a couple others. Back here is a small lawanda, which these fish are gorgeous. They have long fins, orange and yellows and blues. It's going to be very pretty. Here's my red terror, which ebbs and flows in color. Sometimes it has its true beautiful striking red and yellow and black bars. Currently it's not displaying its full color, and it's not quite in the light, so I can't get a great shot. Here she might come out. This is the only for sure female, as the males look quite different, but a beautiful fish nonetheless. Here's my Jack Dempsey. This fish is taking forever to grow. I bought it maybe at a 1 inch. It's maybe 3.5 inches, maybe 4. But it's a beautiful fish. I love that fish. And did I miss anybody in here? I think that might be it. There is a featherfin catfish, which typically hides. It's only about 2-3 inches, so you know, as that fish puts on size, it certainly will you know, be more confident and active, I'm sure. Let's see. As far as this tank, like I said, it's 120 gallons. You know, I believe in budget, you know, DIY kind of mentality. And this sand is just play sand from Home Depot. These plants are cheap plants from Amazon. The driftwood I got with my 65-gallon tank that I got off Craigslist. This background is not the real 3D background. It's just, you know, the plastic, thin plastic, like regular black or blue background, but it gives you that effect. This rock is from my backyard. You know, as far as filtration, I'm just using 4 125-gallon sponge filters. I think sponge filters are the best because they're the cheapest, they're super easy to maintain. There's the featherfin catfish, which has, you know, it's got decent size. Really like these catfish. I'm excited for it to get, you know, larger and more pronounced in the tank. But yeah, so I got 2 on this side and 2 on this side. And honestly, the maintenance on these are just, there's no comparison in terms of maintenance. So for me, you know, I have a family, I have 2 little kids, I got, you know, work and life and blah, blah, blah. You know, I literally probably mess with those filters once every 3 to 6 months. I do water changes once a week. It ranges between 20 to 50% water change once a week. And that's it. Literally, that's all I do to this tank. Those sponge filters, just, you know, they're perfect surface for beneficial bacteria, and they do wonders. And my water's pristine, it's clear, it's easy. So, you know, no complaints there. And again, they're just so cheap. I think those are like 20 bucks each, maybe, or even less. And then I'm running 2 Box Tech air pumps from Amazon, which are 50 bucks each. So it's 100 bucks for 2 of the air pumps. And then maybe, what is it, you know, 60 bucks for the filters. So 160 bucks, you have 500 gallons of filtration. You know, 125 times 4 or 500 gallons. It's hard to beat that, especially when you combine the maintenance. Not even just the maintenance, the durability. These aren't going to leak, right? I mean, yes, you have to be worried about power outages, and you have to put a check valve, which are like $1 each. So you put a check valve per line, and you're good to go. It's quiet. These the Box Tech air pumps are super quiet. And so, you know, yeah, I have a little less room in my tank. Yeah, you see the filters, but given all the pros, the cons are just not even. Oh, here's one other fish that's new. It's a Tanzania hap. These will have a striking like half yellow, half blue. That guy's gonna get real pretty. And then I just have these two like really cheap Sun Powerheads, you know, which creates great water movement. So my surface agitation is on point. You know, this is a very heavily oxygenated tank between the 4 sponge filters and then these 2 you know, Powerheads. My daughter has this Lego who's scubaing, photography, very exciting. So yeah, so here's the 120. The light is, I don't even know the brand. I got the light, it's just one light, and I don't know if I can give you the brand, whatever that is. You know, and look at these lids, right? Like, this is what it's all about, DIY cheap. You know, this tank came with no lids. This is just the plastic roofing cut to size. You know, big deal, you know. So yeah, here it is. You got any questions? You want me to talk about anything else in more detail, which I do plan to make videos about more aspects of the tank or more detail, but shoot me any questions you like. I have 2 other tanks that I'm going to feature soon. A 65 gallon that I have upstairs, and then a kid tank that's a 29 gallon. So, hope you're well. Thanks for watching, and take care.